Chris Paul just reminded everybody of what a superstar point guard he is. He was nothing short of sensational last night. 12 for 20 from the field, 16 of 17 free throws, 15 assists, and 6 steals to go along with the 42 points. Although he was playing up against a Steph Curry who was in the midst of dropping 38 points.
Yep.
Chris Paul was just flat out sensational. I want to say that I'm pleased with DeAndre Jordan, had 17 rebounds last night. He needs to continue doing that. I understand. Blake Griffin was a highlight reel in the making. 23 points, 10 rebounds. I get all of that. Here's my problem. I'm looking at a Blake Griffin. I'm looking at a DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan shot 3 of 12 from the free throw line last night. Blake Griffin was still a highlight reel, but when it came time to be a man in the post down low and to really post up and play with your back to the basket, I didn't see enough of that. And I'm saying you've had this entire offseason to address some of the weaknesses in your game. And I don't see that. I see Blake Griffin, as gifted as he is, doing the same stuff he's always done. That's good enough to win you basketball games in the regular season. But what I'm seeing from Chris Paul, not just the game, but the nastiness that comes with it, is what I need to see from the other cats wearing his uniform. And I don't see that right now. Blake Griffin getting into it with Mark Jackson does not count. Okay, you need to get into it while you pounding down low against some of those boys. Blake Griffin is a superstar athlete. He's box office. He's sensational in that regard. I'm not taking anything away from him. But in order to win a championship, you got to be a man down there. And DeAndre Jordan's got to help you by hitting free throws. And the fact that DeAndre Jordan doesn't appear to have addressed his weakness, and Blake Griffin doesn't appear to have addressed his weakness, concerns me, because I know whatever weaknesses Chris Paul has, he's consistently addressing. And I need to see that from the rest of those cats if they're going to make my prediction look good.
I am dumbfounded by your take today. I love your take because I completely agree with everything you just said, because I always have. I do not love this team. I love its new coach, and I hope he can change the culture going forward. But I told you before the season started, I think even Doc Rivers will ultimately throw up his hands late in the season and say, Stephen A., I just can't do it with these guys. I'm sorry. I tried and I failed. This is the one night where I look at the box score, and it's everything you should like about the Clippers. I mean, Blake had 23 and 10. What more do you want? I agree with your take. I said before the draft I would take Steph Curry over Blake Griffin, and everybody said, you're out of your mind. I'm not out of my mind. Blake Griffin can really, really dunk, and he can't do much else. I don't see much low post. I don't see much fire in the belly. I don't see rebounding. I don't see defending. I don't see shot blocking. I don't see intangibles. But he can really, really dunk. And his 2 breakaway dunks from CP3 just brought down the house last night and broke the game open for the home team Clippers. Now, again, as you know, Golden State doesn't play a whole lot of defense. So even CP3's game, which was sensational, you have to put it in the context of it's a run-and-gun game, and he is going to get his if he chooses. To me, Stephen A., this team goes as CP3 goes. And in the playoffs last year against Memphis, remember, they won the first 2 games to go up 2-0. Then in the turning point game 3, CP3 was nowhere to be found. He had 8 points, 5 turnovers, and 4 assists. Not good enough. They depend on him to be their little engine that thinks he can. And he's the one with the guts and the nastiness. The other guys, I don't trust me. They got a lot of nice players coming off the bench, but we're not talking about difference-making superstar players. So I'm with you. I don't love the Clippers. I'm just shocked that you don't love them today.
No, I don't love them today, but I believe in Doc Rivers. I think he's that great of a coach, and I think if there's anybody that can create the kind of metamorphosis necessary in order for this team to turn it around and be productive, it's Doc Rivers. And I also believe that you do it with the help of a point guard, and I can't imagine anybody better to facilitate that than Chris Paul. It's just that for me, I'm looking at a guy like Blake Griffin. It's not like your game is devoid of this ability. It's that you won't do it. You got to go out there. This boy's 6'10", he's 260. He's a powerful young man. Act like it. Not just when it comes time to high rise, but when it comes time to post up. Because I got to tell you, Skip, I'm watching Kevin Love the other day in Minnesota, 31 points, 13 rebounds, and I'm going like this. Kevin Love gets rebounds.
He's a bad
Kevin
boy.
Love bangs. Kevin Love can shoot.
Yep.
Kevin Love can hit free throws. Kevin Love plays intelligently. And listen, Kevin Love is better than Blake Griffin. And I'm just saying to myself, come on, Blake, you've got the ability. Just do it. Just do it. Because to me, it's a championship is riding on two elements. DeAndre Jordan, just hit 50% of your free throws. Just hit 50%. Just 50%. 1 out of 2. That's all. Okay? And if you're Blake Griffin, just post up and get to the free throw line, son. That's all. Play with your back to the basket. Be a man in the post. He's got the ability. He just has to have somebody. Chris Paul has to contaminate these dudes with that fire that's inside of his belly.
They're
That's
contaminated,
what I'm
I think.
Oh boy.
They got to do it. Chris Paul's got to do it. Because I have no doubt what Chris Paul's going to do.
Stephen
He just
A.
needs to get them to do it.
Blake Griffin can really dunk, and he makes great commercials. Lots and lots of great commercials. That's about it.